Hi everyone, Woods of Odin here. Fair warning, I am a little drunk, so this video may not be appropriate for children. As I say in my channel, this channel is not for children. If I want a channel that is appropriate for children, I will make one. This is not it. So I had some thoughts about Otherkin, but first I wanted to tell you about I finally managed to find some mead in a farmer's market. It's not that I was fervently looking, but I did manage to find some, and it was pretty good. It was kind of sweet. Um, Not the greatest thing in the world, but it was pretty good. So if anyone has any spectacular recommendations or something, by all means lay them on me. But this afternoon I wanted to try it, and I've always had this unusual thing. The first time I tried mead, I wouldn't do it alone. It seemed almost dirty or something. Sort of, I don't want to say sacrilegious, but maybe that is an appropriate term because there's no logical basis for this. I always found there's something about just sitting and drinking it alone that I didn't like. So I always figured the first time I tried it would be with somebody else. So I poured it out in a glass, poured some out in a glass. My mom got a glass. I said, "Hey, you want to toast the gods?" She said, "Sure," because she's going to indulge my silliness apparently. So yeah, I'm standing there in the kitchen, and I yell, "Hail the Aesir, hail the Vanir, hail the Landwights, hail the ancestors." And I fucking meant it. And she said, "Hail," and it occurs to me that sure, I'm an agnostic Satanist that practices chaos magic, but I will always have this Germanic mythology that inside me somewhere is some sort of, I don't know, no matter what my interpretation of these things are, it's always going to be here. And it's, I don't know, man, it's fucking hard to explain. Really, the change in my belief systems is more how I interpret things. Like, hey man, this isn't literal. You can't show somebody else the gods. I mean, it's all subjective. I understand that. And I don't mean any offense to any of the YouTube heathens. Please don't misunderstand. But my interpretation is vastly different. My interpretation is the self, the human mind talking to itself. That's how I can reconcile living inside unusual perceptions, but at the same time not being able to prove any of those to anyone else. So I say, okay, they are completely subjective, and in a literal sense, they're not real. But that's okay. It doesn't mean that I have to show parts of my own mind, my own psyche, my own self any less respect because they aren't real in the literal sense. So, and in a way, I'd like to think that the ancestors, those who have come before me, can hear me, but if they can't, it's not going to do any harm if I pay them respect anyway. Because ultimately, even still, I'm paying myself respect because, after all, what am I made of except for the people that came before me, And certainly we can transcend that if we're in situations where there's abuse or something that's not healthy. But transcend. I don't like that word. We can improve upon it. Sometimes we don't have the best stuff, and we can improve that. So I was thinking about Otherkin. Now, obviously I had more mead. But you can, yeah. But I was thinking about Otherkin today. Not well. I was walking in a parking lot in a hot afternoon, and it occurred to me that I'm probably on the right track as far as Otherkin being in our own minds, and not something like there's a literal metaphysical reality woven into this reality, or underneath this one, or overlaid on top of this one. There's Otherkin probably is the human mind again, talking to itself, expressing itself to itself. It would be like if it would be like very similar to Satanism, where I say, yes, I am an adversary to the Abrahamic religions. I don't like them. I will argue against them. I am an adversary. I'm not going to pick fights, but I'm an adversary. So in that sense, you better believe I'm Satan. I'm an antichrist, whatever you want to call it. And so I think Otherkin is very similar, because if there was some sort of actual reality to all this, then I would be in a world of hurt. I mean, I could sit here and make all kinds of excuses, like energy adapting to this or that situation, but really, I would be in a world of hurt. And I think there may be one guy that actually understands why that is. And I'd appreciate it if you don't spread that around, but yeah, just understand that if this Otherkin stuff were literal, I'd pretty much be fucked. And I'm not even talking about physically. I'm talking about energetically. I would be fucked. So, okay, well, that's the end of my drunken ramble. I hope you found it very interesting. I am going to have a blog talk radio show about Otherkin tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard. Go to Blog Talk Radio and look up Chaos Sphere. 8 o'clock Eastern Standard, it's PM, it's at night. It's about Otherkin. Call in, chat, and I'm going to sit here so YouTube doesn't cut me off. Sorry about the long ramble, but it probably entertained somebody, because YouTube is fucking full of retarded, drunken idiots who ramble about shit, all kinds of weird shit, and I'm one of them. At least I'm not a fucking young earth creationist, yeah? Come on. Young earth creationism, I mean, what the fuck? I'm gonna use the fruits of science to denounce science. What the fuck? YouTube young earth creationist. Nonsense. Okay. If anyone knows how to get rid of this stupid minicam logo somewhere over here, let me know.